Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. Q and answer, question and answer shorts. New format where I answer a single question daily. And for those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, I'm a 30-year veteran writer, illustrator, editor, and publisher of comic, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing games. So I have a little bit of knowledge over the years that I've acquired about these topics. So hopefully I can give some insight. Today's question comes from Angela in South Carolina, and she asks, have you seen the backlash towards Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman in the new Batman movie? Have you seen the film, and if so, did you have an issue with a non-Caucasian actress in the role? I haven't seen the movie, not really interested in seeing the movie. That has nothing to do with Zoe Kravitz, however, and it's kind of like you don't have to see the movie to have an opinion on this because it's in kind of a ongoing situation with fandom kind of chastising actors for roles that they pick, and it's kind of silly. But we'll talk specifically about Catwoman here. It's an excellent question, why this stuff goes on, but it's also confusing because she's nowhere near the first Caucasian actress to play the role. She's been played by no less than 6 different non-Caucasian women in various permutations of live action voice acting for animated versions dating back to the 1960s in the Adam West TV series. 7 actresses if you count Tessa Thompson playing Eartha Kitt in Drunk History from 2019, which I do. We had Eartha Kitt, who was the second Catwoman in Batman, the Adam West Batman from 1967 to 68. We had Halle Berry playing Catwoman in 2004, I think it was. It might have been 2006, but one of those years. The late Naya Rivera played the voice of Catwoman in the Batman The Long Halloween. Anika Noni Rose played the voice of Catwoman in Injustice. Sana Lathan plays the voice of Catwoman in Harley Quinn animated series. Of course, we have Zoe playing the character in the Batman this year. And again, Tessa Thompson played Eartha Kitt as Catwoman in Drunk History. Now, the fact that we've had so many Black, Latina, and mixed race women already play this character over the years isn't enough to make you question why anybody's remotely complaining about Kravitz being cast in a role. The complaint is really because Selena Kyle, quote unquote, is white, according to the racist dirtbags who are complaining. Newsflash, Selena is not white. She is a mixed race character. Specifically, she is half human and half Italian by the comic's own canonical history that dates back about a good 15, 20 years when they brought this to the canon. So maybe the question is, why do you ever cast a Caucasian in the role? Personally, I think it's fanboys just bitching because, oh, gee, Annie Hathaway's a little bit more attracted to them, and she's taller and more voluptuous than Zoe Kravitz, and it ruins their fanboy fantasy that they got a short Black woman instead of a taller white woman in the role. That's just the only thing I could come up with. I think it's stupid that people complain, and it's just another version of the character. Who cares? But people do. But it's not the only time this has happened. Unfortunately, it's an all too common practice, and it happens all the time. And it's mostly directed at women actors. Remember when the fandom attacked Scarlett Johansson for being the Major in The Ghost in the Shell? People got angry and complained that it was whitewashing the character and that the role should have gone to an Asian or Asian American actor. Well, while I don't have a complaint about people saying that per se, let's listen to the director of the original anime film, Mamoru Oshii, who had this to say. What issue could there possibly be in casting her? The Major is a cyborg, and her physical form is entirely an assumed one. The name Motoko Kusanagi and her current body are not her original human body, so there is no basis for saying that an Asian actress must portray her. Even if her original body, presuming such a thing existed, were a Japanese one, that would still apply. It doesn't matter. So there you go. When the person who directed the original animated film is telling you it doesn't matter, and if you actually talk to the creator of the original manga, uh, Matsuhiro Otomo, he'll tell you the same thing. You ought to listen to the creators. They ought to know what they're talking about. So, again, why are they complaining? Well, was it because they really wanted an Asian actress in the role, or was it because they were jealous of Scarlett Johansson constantly getting films, because at that period of time, she was getting film after film after film after film. But what people don't realize about that situation and that time in Johansson's career was many actors sign on deals where you have to fit a certain amount of films for your contract. And if you don't fit that many films in a certain set amount of time and a certain amount of years or whatever, you get penalized. You have to pay back money to the studios. And that's not as common today as it used to be in the 20s and 30s and early days of Hollywood, but it still exists to this day, and many actors are still under those type of contracts. It's kind of like how, in fact, a lot of the actors that were in the Marvel films, including Scarlett, had a set number of films they had to appear in Marvel films as part of their contracts. So with that in mind, it could be that one of the reasons that Scarlett took this particular role was to fill that contractual obligation. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it's a possibility, and that's something that fans should also keep in mind. Another prominent example of this problem was Jessica Alba in the Fantastic Four films, when she played Susan Storm Richards, and even famous creators who worked on the Fantastic Four comic like John Byrne proved to be racially insensitive and complained about her being cast in the role. Now, this isn't limited to women actors either. Michael B. Jordan was blasted when he portrayed Johnny Storm in a different version of Fantastic Four. And of course, Kate Mara, who played Sue Storm in that same film, also got blasted because they were portrayed as adopted siblings, one black and one white. They blasted Peter Dinklage in the X movies as Dr. Bolivar Trask in the X-Men Days of Future Past film, which was ridiculous because who freaking cares who plays Bolivar Trask? I mean, he's a nobody character to speak of. You know, I mean, yes, he's a villain, but he's not. It's not like, oh my God, we have to have a specific person to play that role. So they cast a dwarf or a short person, or whatever he prefers, as his definer. You know, it gets ridiculous though that people would complain about that. Ultimately, though, fandom needs to grow up. TV shows and movies are not the same as your precious comics. They are marketed and geared towards a different audience dynamic, which requires broader, more inclusive standards than characters who were often created 50 to 85 years ago. Also, what's funny about the hypocrisy of the fandom, how can you complain about these things while you accept Chris Evans playing the Human Torch in the FF with Jessica Alba and also playing Captain America? You know, if you're going to complain, wouldn't you complain about the same actor being cast in different roles in different films over and over and over? That would be more of a reasonable complaint when you see that. And there's a lot more of that going on with male actors than there is in superhero films and TV shows than there is actors or actresses being cast, so to speak, out of what you guys think might be the appropriate race or gender or whatever. So it's time to get over it. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But until then, have a happy St. Patrick's Day, and we'll see you again later this afternoon at 4 p.m. for a kind of a mega show. We're going to talk about all the stuff that I've been buying lately because I haven't been doing my reviews, and we'll get caught up on that a little bit. So at 4 p.m. we'll be back. Until then, have a great day, and we'll see you soon. But if you have a question for me, hold on a second. My computer's futzing up. Where's it at? There it is. If you have questions, email me at quotheravenlbr72@gmail.com, subject QTR Q&A. Mark Andrew Smith says, happy St. Patty's. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well, Mark, and stay safe over there where you're at in the world. Until then, we'll see you guys at 4. If you like this video, or you think others might, please like, share, and subscribe to get continued content from this channel. As always, I thank you for watching and for your support. If you want to reach out to me otherwise, on Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter at LewisBrightRaven2. You can see some of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis BrightRaven, exclusively on YouTube. Again, for questions or you want to commission artwork, something like that, quotheravenlbr72@gmail.com is the primary address. If for some reason I don't reach out back to you, try LewisBrightRaven@yahoo.com. See you later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Until then, have a great day.